So welcome back everyone, Dr. Ashik Tutorials. So today we are starting a new series, clinical series, towards clinical series. So we'll be discussing everything from dermatology, like step by step. So dermatology. See, our skin is made up of mainly four layers. We can classify into epidermis. Then second is called basement membrane zone. Basement membrane zone. It's also called dermoepidermal junction. Between epidermis and dermis, right? Dermoepidermal junction. The third layer in the skin, that is our dermis. And the last one, they are made up of subcutaneous layers. They are made up of subcutaneous layers. Now, we have to talk about each of these layers. That is very important. So, first one, we are going to talk about epidermis here. So, let's talk about epidermis. See, epidermis are having important cells as well as they are having important layers. So we have to talk about both cells and layers. Cells include, they are made up of keratinocytes. Actually, in epidermis, they consist of or they comprise 90 percentage. So 90 percentage what we have keratinocytes. They have melanocytes. They have some cells called Merkel cell. We'll talk about each of these cells soon. Merkel cells. Then there is something called, macrophage of skin. You might have heard. Very important. Langerhans, not Langhans. Langhans is in TB. This is Langerhans cells. Remember it. So these are the four main cells we see in what? Epidermis. Now talking about the layers, they are made up of the outer layer corneum, lucidum, granulosum, spinosum, and basal. So inner they have basal layer, and outer they have corneum, lucidum, granulosum, spinosum, and basal. If you want, you can remember like this. Come, let's get sunbath. So mnemonics. Let's get sunbath. Or you can remember like boys says, girls look cute. Girls look cute. So Q for corneum, look for lucidum, girls granulosum. If someone don't like girls, use this mnemonics. Anyhow, you have to remember the inner layer is basal and the outer layer is what? Corneum. You can use come let's get sunbath or boys say girls look cute. So whatever you prefer, do it or remember it. So let's talk about now each cells in the epidermis. So first one we talk about keratinocytes. So let's move to first cells. What is it called? Keratinocytes. They are made up of keratin filament. Keratinocytes are made up of what? Keratin filaments. Or they're also called tonofilament. Tonofilaments. Or they are also called intermediate filaments. Intermediate filaments. So three names you can remember: tonofilaments, keratin filaments, or intermediate filaments. See, these keratinocytes, they are present in which layer of the epidermis? We talked about each layer. They are mainly present in the basal layer. Okay, they are present in mainly. You can see in every layer, but basal layer also can be predominant or very important because there are some pathology like very important MCQ in the exam. in all high yield exams, they will ask you, keratinocyte 5 or keratinocyte 14, right? And if that keratinocyte 5 or 14, if they are damaged on striatum basal layer, it is a basal layer, you will have a very important disease from dermatology. That disease is called, so if you have any absence of K5 or K14 in striatum basal layer, that condition is called epidermolysis. Epidermolysis simplex bullosa. So remember, so any absence or abnormality in keratin 5 or 14 in which layer? Striatum basal layer, that leads to first disease that you have remember, epidermolysis simplex bullosa. So that's all about what keratinocytes. So next one, let's talk about what is the next one, melanocytes. So next cells that is important here, melanocytes. As you all know, melanin for pigment, right? They are also mainly seen in striatum basal, or which layer of skin? Basal layer, the inner layer. Remember, very important point, they are derived from neural crust. Derived from neural crust. And they synthesize melanosomes. Melanosomes. That means like melanin, the pigment melanin. So embryologically derived from neural crust layer. From neural crust, what they do, they migrate to what? Striatum basal. That's what happening here. They migrate to striatum basal, right? So a rough figure here. If this is the striatum basal, if this is the basal layer, a rough figure. See, in between you can have what this melanocyte or melanosome. Okay. Here all again you will have all these skin layers or keratino. These are keratinocytes. All these keratinocytes. Yeah, at least remember a rough figure. So this is called what? Once again, this is the inside we have melanin producing thing called melanosome. Melanosome. This is our basal layer of epidermis. So they will produce you what? Melanocytes. That is for what? Producing pigment color in the skin. Now there is something called, if someone asks you, in one melanocyte, per one melanocyte, how many keratinocytes will be present? So remember 36 keratinocytes. 36 keratinocytes per what? One melanocyte. In one melanocytes we can have 36 keratinocytes. So that is termed as, in dermatology, epidermal melanin unit. We call it as epidermal melanin unit. So that's all about what? Melanocytes. Next one, let's talk about Merkel cell. Merkel cell. So they are also present in basal layer, striatum basal layer of the skin. They are also called, very important function, physiology exam, slow adapting touch receptors. They are also called slow adapting touch receptors. That's all about Merkel cells. The last one here, that is, what is the last cells we talked? The macrophage of skin is called Langerhans cell. Langerhans cell. What you have to know here, they are mainly seen in spinosome. Very important question in the exam. They are seen in which layer of skin? Mainly spinosum layer. So Langerhans and spinosum. They contain some important granules like Birbeck granules. They have which granules? Birbeck granules, and that have a specific shape asked in the exam, that is racket or rod shaped. They are racket or rod shaped. So these are also called, macrophage is also called what? Antigen presenting cell. That helps in which process? Phagocytosis. Phagocytosis. Antigen presenting cell that helps in phagocytosis. Now these Langerhans cells, they have some marker positive. If you see in any exam these markers are positive, they are talking about which one? Langerhans cell. CD1A, CD207 and S100. They are positive. These markers positive. Just remember as a like high yield thing. If you see this marker CD1A, CD207, S100, they are talking about what? Langerhans cells. Now, there are some conditions in dermatology where you will have decreased what? Langerhans cells. Decreased Langerhans cells. In which all condition? Are in some very important dermatological diseases like in psoriasis, like in sarcoidosis, like in basal cell carcinoma. Basal cell carcinoma. Now there are some conditions where you will have increased what? Langerhans cells. Where you see that in Langerhans cell histiocytosis. It's a disease called Langerhans cell histiocytosis. It's also called in medicine histiocytosis X. No, osis means abnormal condition. So increased histiocytosis X. So remember that two pathology or where you will have decreased amount of what? Langerhans cell and increased amount of Langerhans cells. Hope all got it. Now little embryology part of this epidermis. Embryology. Talking about the embryology, first one, let's talk about this keratinocytes. From where they are derived? They are derived from ectoderm. Keratinocytes derived from what? Ectoderm, and they are present in all layers. You can see it in what? All layers. The next one, melanocytes. Melanocytes we already discussed. From where is it produced? It is produced from neural crest. Then they migrate, right? They migrate to basal layer, and they are present in striatum basal. Which layer of epidermis? Basal. Now third one about our Merkel cell. Merkel cell. Remember, Merkel cells are normally seen in or derived from ectoderm. Ectoderm. And some say it is from neural crest also. What is the accepted one? Ectoderm. Both are correct, but more correct is ectoderm. Okay, and they are also present in basal layer, mainly in basal. The last one is our what? Langerhans cells. Langerhans cells. Remember, they are present from or they are derived from what? Mesoderm. Very important. So macrophages from mesoderm. Or remember, they are derived from bone marrow. Bone marrow. And they are present where? Stratum spinosum. Which layer we talked already? They are present from spinosum. Hope all are okay about embryology. Remember, very important point here. We're talking about melanocytes. You will hear melanocytes not only in the skin. Write a note. We can hear what? Melanocytes. Talking about melanocytes. You can see that also in our skin. Sorry, in the eye. Which part of eye? Retina. In the eye. And there they are derived from optic disc. Or sorry, optic cup. Derived from optic cup. So whenever you hear melanocyte, don't think that's not only in skin, it's also in our eye also. So that can be also a question. So now let's talk about each layer of the skin. So we talked once again, boys say girls look cute, or come, what are they? Sorry, corneum, come, let's get lucidum, come, let's get sunbath, right? Granulosum, get sunbath. Spinosum, and what? Basal layer. Now remember, basal is the first layer formed, embryologically. So basal, the inner regenerating layer, and corneum is the last layer formed. But you have to know, outside, last layer formed. Next point here, you can remember like this, right? Make If you go from inner to outside, in to out, like what happens? The cells, it was columnar here, so it will become more flat. The cells become flat. The cell size increases, and there will be loss of nucleus, and there will be more dehydrated. Simply manner. Remember, if you go from basal and corneum, who is more dehydrated? Corneum. Who don't have nucleus? Corneum and lucidum, almost they don't have nucleus, but others have nucleus. Then these all are, this is columnar cells. But when you go to corneum, they become flat, and the size will increase. Corneum is bigger than what? Basal. That's what we meant here. So in one step, we can remember all these things. So now let's talk about each layer. So first, let's talk about what? Our basal layer of epidermis. Basal. So remember, it is the first layer to be formed. Basal is the first layer to be formed, as we talked. They are highly, because they helps in the regeneration, right? Basal everywhere. So they are highly mitotically active. Mitotically active. It means like normally basal layer that is responsible for, if you have injury to the skin, who will regenerate this basal? They will make more layer. And if this is the last layer, that is a corneum, it around take 14 days. They regenerate, they do mitosis, and they reach in the corneum by 14 days. Then they cross the corneum by again by 14 days, and they will slough off by 28 days. So 28 plus 14 plus 14. So that is around, that is called epidermal turnover time. To make a new skin, epidermal turnover time. It's around how much, 52 to 75 days. 52 to 75 days. Next one, I remember there's a very important disease where turnover, that is epidermal turnover time, it will become 4 days. It's a pathology. Where is it? Remember that condition happens in psoriasis. Remember Langerhans cells decreases there. Your epidermal turnover time, it will be 4 days. So that's all about which layer? We talked about basal layer. That's what we have to remember. Next one, let's talk about spinosum. Spinosum layer. What we have to know here, as you know, it is the thickest layer. Langerhans cells are present where? Here in spinosum, thickest layer. And they have, what is the cell to cell connection called desmosome? Two cells are connected by desmosome. These desmosomes are predominantly seen here. Predominant. Which layer of epidermis? In spinosome. That's why they are having some proteins called desmosomal protein, desmosomal proteins. We also call it as or calcium dependent adhesion molecule, calcium dependent adhesion molecules. So what are those proteins of desmosome? It includes very important, those desmosomal proteins. To include desmoglein, later we need this for the diseases. Desmoglein. Then we have desmocholine. We have something called desmoplakin. We have something called placoglobin. Now, if you have any problem in any of this protein, if any of these proteins are damaged, you will have a disease called, pemphigus. We'll talk about it soon. If any of this protein is damaged, we will have a disease called pemphigus, or that is also called any of the protein damage. It's also called intraepidermal disorders. So desmoglein, intraepidermal disorders. So any problem in desmoglein, desmocolin, desmoplakin, or placoglobin leads to what? Pemphigus or intraepidermal disorders. So that's all about what spinals. Remember where you will have maximum what? Langerhans cells. That's also a very important point. Next one, granulosome. What you have to know here, they have granules, right? They are made up of granules. So what are the two important granules here? First one, keratohyalin granules. Keratohyalin granules. They contain a protein called filaggrin. Very important. Filaggrin protein. It acts as a precursor even. Precursor means that will produce something else, right? So that means they will be producing something called filaments aggregating protein. Filaments aggregating protein. So the function itself from the name, aggregation of filaments. Very important, like you have seen, yeah, like tortoise shell or snake shell, some babies are born with that. That is called, if this protein is absent, they will have a disease called, very important MCQ, ichthyosis vulgaris. Ichthyosis vulgaris, vulgar like appearance, or we call it as ichthyosis vulgaris. So that is the first granule. Second granule here, you have to know that is membrane coating granule. Membrane coating granule. It's also called lamellar granule. Lamellar granule. Also called Outland bodies. Outland. So these are present in what? Remember, granulosome. Which layer of epidermis? Granulosome. Remember, these are all are lipids, and they act as a protective barrier. Protective barrier. If someone don't have this any of this protein, sorry, any of these granules, they will have a disease called, remember, winter eczema. Winter eczema. It's also called astiotic skin manifestation. So if someone don't have membrane coating granules or Outland bodies, they are lipids, they will have this disease. So that's all about what? Granulosome. Now let's talk about the very last layer, that is lucidum. Talking about lucidum, they are the clear clear cell layer. They are translucent, translucent. They are having refractile granule of refractile granule of elidin. So that is very important. Why they are translucent? They have refractile granule of elidin. So they are the clear layer. Which one? Lucid, lucid. They are very lucid. Remember, they are very clear. The last layer in the epidermis is what? Stratum corneum. The last one is stratum corneum. Remember, if someone don't have a baby born, remember, they are very deficient. If a baby is born in low birth or in preterm baby, low birth or in preterm baby. And what you see here, you will see dead keratinocytes. Dead keratinocytes. That means I told you nucleus will be high in basal and absent in what? Corneum. They lack what? Nucleus. This corneum layer lack the nucleus. So that's all about all layer of what? Epidermis. Now some important pathology. See, as I told you, in corneum normally don't have what? Nucleus. So there is a condition that is called parakeratosis. Parakeratosis. What do you mean by parakeratosis? It means the patient will have nucleus. That nucleus is retained in stratum corneum. Stratum corneum. Normally they don't have it, right? So at that time, the disease is called parakeratosis. Example of parakeratosis. Remember, mnemonics peace. Everything is peace now, right? We have to live in a world with peace. So remember peace. P4 again psoriasis. As we have discussed, we have discussed a lot thing about psoriasis till now. In case of eczema, the case of eczema, the case of actinic keratosis, actinic keratosis, the case of squamous cell carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma, the case of seborrheic dermatitis. So all these cases, what we have, peace. Sorry, all these cases, what we have, parakeratosis. That means the corneum layer will retain what? Nucleus. It's an abnormal condition. Then there is something called, similar like parakeratosis, you might have heard, that is called dyskeratosis. Dyskeratosis. What does it actually means by dyskeratosis? That means the patient will have abnormal keratinization. Abnormal keratinization. So that can be seen with in malignant case, that is in squamous cell carcinoma of skin, squamous cell carcinoma of skin, or in pre-malignant. We'll study about each of these disease soon. Pre-malignant disease like Bowen's disease, Bowen's disease, and benign, benign cases like what? Darius disease, Darius disease, or Haley disease, Haley Haley disease. That is benign. So these are cases where we have what? Dyskeratosis. Next one, there can be condition called microabscess. Microabscess itself, we can have different types. First one, that is called neutrophilic. Neutrophilic. This is where you will have Abscess means pus filled cavity, and that because of what? Neutrophils will be high, neutrophil cells. So, another example, one is in papillary tip. They will give you in the exam papillary tip, neutrophilic microabscess, where you see that condition in the case of dermatitis herpetiformis. Then we have something called Munro's, very important, very common asked exam. Munro's microabscess, neutrophilic, that is seen with what? Very important disease, psoriasis. Then we have Kogoi pustules. Kogoi pustules that we see again with what? Psoriasis. So psoriasis, we have discussed a lot of things today. Psoriasis. So that's all about neutrophilic. Next one, we can have lymphocytic microabscess. Lymphocytic. Just remember one example, that is lymphocytic microabscess. Portrease. Portrease microabscess. Best example is mycosis fungoides. Mycosis fungoides disease. We'll talk about disease. Then last one, eosinophilic microabscess. Where you see that? This is seen with a disease called Pemphigus vegetans. Pemphigus vegetans. So that's all about what? Microabscess. So we talked about parakeratosis, dyskeratosis, microabscess. The last one here, we talk about acantholysis. That is also important. Acantholysis. Talking about acantholysis itself means that is separation of keratinocytes. What happens here? Separation of keratinocytes. As a result, what you will see, there is something called acantholytic cells. Acantholytic cells. For identifying these cells, we do a like smear that is very important. We use a smear called Zhang smear, T-Zhang. What smear we use? Zhang smear. And this Zhang smear staining, if you are seeing acanthocytes, means your diagnosis is this patient is suffering from which type of disease? Pemphigus disease. Instead, if you are seeing instead of acanthocyte in Zhang smear, multinucleated giant cells. Giant cells. What's your diagnosis? This patient is suffering from herpes or chickenpox. They are suffering from herpes or chickenpox. So multinucleated giant cell means herpes or chickenpox. This pemphigus itself we can divide into first one, pemphigus vulgaris. Vulgar. Normally pemphigus vulgaris because of which protein defect, desmoglein third protein. Desmoglein third. Second one, pemphigus foliaceus. This is desmoglein one protein defect. Then we can have, there is something called paraneoplastic pemphigus. And neo means neoplasm, like a tumor. Can be due to defect in proteins like desmoplakin. Which protein? Desmoplakin protein. Or due to defect in desmoglobin. The last two one is Darier's disease. We talk about it. Darier's. Then Haley disease. Haley. All these in Zhang smear. You see acanthocytes, Haley disease. What is the defect here? Actually, defect is calcium ATPase defect. The enzyme problem with calcium ATPase. So that's all about Zansmere. That's all about acantholysis. So microarthros you understood. Hope you understood keratosis, parakeratosis, then all the layer corneum, lucidum, uh, granulosum, right? Proteins, desmosomal proteins, spinosum layer, basal layer, and corneum layer. The cells of epidermis and how they are different from each other. What is the importance of each cells? Hope everyone understood everything. So that's all about epidermis we talked. Next we are going to talk about what dermis. So the next video we talk about dermis. Please subscribe, share, and support. Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye bye.